So, I have a few things that have been buzzing around my mind for a while. For starters, I don't like when I hear or when white people say slavery happened years ago, it's not still a thing, racism doesn't exist, get over it. I really don't like that. That shit really bothers me. The reason it bothers me is because people act like it ended so long ago, when in reality, it was only like a little bit more than 100 years ago that it ended, like more like 150 plus. I may be a little off there, but nonetheless, 100 plus, 100, 20, 30 years ago. That wasn't that long ago. That's your great grandfather's great grandfather. You know what I mean? Kind of like it wasn't that like it wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean? You go and ask an older relative, they can tell you stories that was passed down to them. And it wasn't that long ago. And not even just that, you have Reconstruction, um, and Black Wall Street, Jim Crow, and then the rise before civil rights. This wasn't all this. It wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean? So when you take that into account, and you take into the fact that how people felt back then, and the people that were feeling however they were feeling towards blacks and about blacks back then, those same people's kids are still around. You never know what got passed down. You never know what got kept and what got rid of. So, you never know who feels like how. Maybe they just learned to deal with it since black people have been around for so long, right? So, with that being said, how am I supposed to really be sure that it's not a thing anymore? Just because you can tolerate me to my face doesn't mean that you don't have some kind of negative inclination towards black people. Especially if you feel some kind of way about the fact that you can't say nigga as a white person. Black people, if you have white friends that you allow them to say nigga around you, stop that shit. And if you have white friends that want to say nigga around you and they keep asking why and you don't have a definitive answer, you tell them because your ancestors did not get invaded and then enslaved on their own country. Period. Or you can say your forefathers did not write our people in their constitution. Period. When they wrote the fucking Declaration of Independence on 4th of July, 1776, guess where our ancestors were? In slavery. So, this wasn't that long ago. Not in the history of the world. This wasn't that long ago. To where you have it today, you have Colin Kaepernick kneeling, the national anthem being a thing. You have police brutality still being a thing, which the police are just an offshoot of the slave patrol. A lot of people don't know that shit. Them same motherfuckers that be in the KKK be the same motherfuckers in the Senate and on the police force, in Congress and on the police force. They the same motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers ain't go nowhere. They didn't go anywhere. The racism didn't go anywhere. It just became tolerable. That's why you hear shit like, "Oh, you're not like the rest of black people. What the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? That's why you hear shit like that. That's why shit is like that is allowed to be said, and it's allowed to be deemed like as a good thing. Like we're supposed to want to hear shit like that. When, keep in mind, black people, that there was a time when they feared us economically, which is why they did what they did, which is why they burned down our most economically sound cities back in the 20s and 30s. They are afraid of us. That's why they push drugs in our community. It ain't no secret that the CIA and the FBI planted drugs and guns in our communities. It's not a secret that gentrification is what led us to living in the ghettos that we do and did. Just another word for reservation. So black folk have more pride and let these motherfuckers know that they can't just say whatever the fuck they want just because they think racism isn't an issue. It is. Or else we wouldn't have Colin Kaepernick kneeling at the motherfucking national anthem. We wouldn't have that be a thing. We wouldn't have Black Lives Matter. We wouldn't have white people being able to get away with a lesser punishment for the same crime that a black person may commit. I mean, it don't get no more fucking favored. I don't call it privilege. I don't call it privilege. I call it favor. I don't believe in the term white privilege, quote unquote. It's white favor. Because at the end of the day, the rich white people, the white man, the rich white people don't give a fuck about poor white people regardless. They just use them to their benefit because they know that at least they can relate to them just based off of the fact that they're white. You know, go watch Don't Mess with the Zohan. Right? You can see it for yourself. But they don't give a fuck about them either way. They don't give a fuck about poor white people. They don't give a fuck about black people, rich or poor. They just can tolerate rich black people more. But even not, still, then not even sometimes. You never know. You never know. You never know these motherfuckers. You never know how they really feel. Just because a white woman can date a black man don't mean shit. just because there's a mixed baby in some racist ass cracker's family, it don't mean shit. it don't mean a goddamn thing. Because a half white and black baby will still be looked at as black. A quarter black, 75% white baby will be looked at as black. But a white person will always be looked at as a white person. Meaning, it don't matter. If you look like a nigga to white folk, you a nigga. And they will reject you. Or they will try to demonize your black side. But black people will take ours no matter what. We'll take ours no matter what. That's the difference. That's the difference. It don't matter to white people if a person is a quarter black, half black. Doesn't matter. It don't fucking matter to white people. But to black people, but because you're all black to white people. No matter if you half black or mostly white, you still black to them. Especially if you look it, if you even look the slightest fucking bit towards black, you're black to them. But you can to us. We don't reject you. We might make fun of you. We don't reject you. I get made fun of because I'm light skinned, but I'm 100% American. I'm 100% nigga all day. Shit. Don't let them make you feel like you shouldn't have pride. Don't make them feel like you shouldn't want to stand up for your people. The very same people that they made sure to exclude from them giving themselves independence. They ain't free us from slavery when they motherfucking decided to free themselves from Britain. All they did was free themselves from their kinfolk. That's all they did. That's all them niggas did. George Washington and John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, all them niggas. I may be, I don't give a fuck if I'm, you know what I'm talking about. If I'm off, whatever, just by, whatever. All them niggas, the founding fathers, nigga, all them niggas is just, they was just at war with their kinfolk. That was it. Wasn't nothing special. They didn't become different people just because they declared their independence. Nigga. They still motherfucking colonists. Nigga. All they did was use poor white immigrants to their agenda, to their advantage. That's it. They gave favoritism to the people that look most like them to keep niggas from coming at them. You got the poor white man, you got the rich white man, and then you got the Jew. And you got the Zionist Jew. You got the Khazarian Jew. That's the latter, at least as far as I'm concerned. The poor white man could be anybody. Could be probably won't be no Jew, but could be a Jew, could be, Christian, Irish, whatever the fuck, European, it doesn't matter. You got your rich white man, could be whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. And you got your Zionist banker Jew. Them motherfuckers is the sneakiest because they the head of the goddamn snake. And then your poor white man, he don't know no goddamn better because he just believe in whatever the motherfucking rich white man who is controlled by the Jew white man, he just believe in whatever he say. The poor white man. Oh, nigger this and nigger that, and we need to get them niggers and we need to get rid of these immigrants. That's it. That's all they know, but not fucking remembering the fact that nigga they are foul as fuck. And came over here and North and South America and just fucked everything up. Bringing disease, just bringing a whole bunch of bullshit. Don't get me wrong, we was too open to them. Our ancestors, they were too open. They were way too open, way too friendly, way too, but they also had help from some coon ass other black folk at the time. I know I got a little deep, but this shit is crazy. I'm just trying to give you a little bit, I'm just trying to give black people a little bit of background. I'm trying to give my people a little bit of background, a little bit of perspective as to the questions and the concerns and the topics that surround them just because of the motherfucking color that they are. Why you see, the white kids that be dancing to quote unquote black people music, while on their pages it always says ending racism. But racism don't exist anymore. Okay. Well, if racism don't exist anymore, then why the fuck we ain't in the goddamn Constitution? Why the fuck were we still goddamn slaves after 1776? Why the fuck is we lied to about who the fuck we actually are? Why the fuck was we lied to about how many slaves actually came to North America? Why was we lied to if racism don't exist? Why are we still being lied to? And why is it that we can't have conversations? If the shit ain't lies, why can't we talk about it? Why can't we have any kind of other reason to not believe the narrative that was taught to us? If it is what it is, then my countering opinion won't hold. Period. But it does. That's the thing. So that's what it is. This shit goes into many different facets. It's so deep because they lie to us all the time. And that's the thing. It's like, how the fuck is you gonna sit here and tell me that some shit that you do every day doesn't exist? The reason why we are lied to all the time is because racism exists. Is because we are being discriminated against through actions. I don't give a fuck about stereotypes or, like racist jokes. I don't give a fuck about all that. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But when you discriminate, when you attack people who look like me and me because of my skin color, we got a problem. When you trying to keep me from getting paper, then we got a problem. When you automatically put me in a box because of my skin color, then we got a problem. When you try to come at me like I don't have no goddamn sense because of my skin color, we got a problem. It's always handled differently. It's always handled accordingly. Nonetheless. They didn't write us in that damn Constitution. They didn't include us in that shit. And white folk can't say nigga. You shouldn't want to. We shouldn't either, but we do anyway. Because we was the one getting whipped. We was the one getting called that shit. So really, they just gave us a word that we can use amongst ourselves. We took some shit and we made the best out of it. Hell, nigga, honestly, I just like the way the shit sound. Personally, I don't give a fuck. Because it is a point of unity amongst our people. That word, it does have its different meanings even amongst us, because we can use it in a negative way, bitch ass nigga. But we can also say, I love you, my nigga. That's my nigga. You see what I'm saying? It unifies us because we understand where we coming from with that shit. That's it. And whatever the fuck, however you may look at it, it may, but nigga, so white people unify over bombs being sent over fucking seas and shit to countries that ain't even do shit, and to countries that we ain't had no business even fucking interfering with their business in the first place. White people will come together in America all day. But as soon as we be like, what up, my nigga? It's a problem. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that, man. This is us, nigga. We all we got. Am I my brother's keeper?